You think most people believe that if you stop caring about her, you'll lose her for good. But the truth is, letting go the right way can completely change the dynamic in your favor. Suddenly she starts to notice your absence, questions your distance, and even starts chasing you. Instead, in this video, I'll reveal the hidden power of stepping back and how it can completely shift the balance of a relationship. Stay with me. This could be the game-changing move you've been waiting for. Section 1. Why women become distant when a woman starts pulling away. The first instinct is often panic. You start overanalyzing every detail. Did I say something wrong? Did I come on too strong? Or worse, did she find someone else? But here, the truth, her distance usually isn't about you at all. Women pull away for reasons that are deeply tied to their emotional rhythms and personal needs. One common reason is emotional overwhelm. Relationships can be intense, and when the connection feels too fast or too heavy, she might retreat to process her emotions. For some women, this space is necessary to regain their sense of independence or to evaluate their feelings. Another reason is the balance of power. If you've been too available or eager, the dynamic may have shifted in a way that makes her feel less drawn to you. Attraction thrives on tension, and when one person becomes overly invested, it can reduce the spark. Her distance might be her subconscious way of trying to restore that tension. External factors can also play a role. She might be dealing with personal stress, career challenges, or family issues, none of which have anything to do with you. If you react emotionally to her pulling away, it can create unnecessary friction. The key is not to personalize her distance. Instead, see it as an opportunity to reflect on the dynamic and reset the balance. Distance doesn't mean disinterest. It's a chance to show her that you're secure enough to handle her space with confidence. Section 2. The worst mistakes men make when a woman becomes distant. When a woman becomes distant, most men instinctively chase. They send more texts, make more calls, and try to fix the situation. This is the worst thing you can do. And here's why chasing confirms to her that she is in control of the dynamic. It signals insecurity and fear, which are major turn-off. Picture this: every time you send another "what's wrong" text or try to initiate another call, you're reinforcing the very behavior that made her pull away in the first place. Women are naturally drawn to confidence and independence. Chasing only amplifies the perception that you're needy and dependent on her validation. Another critical mistake is over. Some men, in an attempt to bridge the gap in communication, may overshare their emotions or try to guilt a woman into responding. While open and honest communication is essential in any relationship, expressing feelings from a place of desperation can have the opposite effect. It creates pressure and ultimately pushes her further away. Another common mistake men make is overanalyzing every interaction. They replay past conversations, dissect her words, and obsess over what might have gone wrong. This constant mental exhaustion not only drains energy, but also shifts the entire focus onto her, leaving no space for personal growth. To break free from these tendencies, the first step is to take a step back and reflect. Recognizing that chasing or overanalyzing won't bring her closer is key. Instead, regaining composure and redirecting energy towards self-improvement and rebuilding attraction will yield far better results. The power of silence. One of the most effective tools when a woman becomes distant is silence. Many men, feeling the void, instinctively try to fill it with endless texts, calls, and explanations. However, true power lies in stepping back and allowing space for her to feel your absence. Here's why it works. When you stop reaching out, you disrupt her expectations. If she's accustomed to you always being available, your sudden withdrawal catches her off guard. This subtle shift sparks curiosity. She may start wondering why you're not chasing her, whether you've lost interest, or if you're moving on. But silence isn't just about creating curiosity. It's about regaining control. By not reacting impulsively, you demonstrate respect for her need for space, while reinforcing your own boundaries. This blend of self-respect and confidence is inherently attractive. During this period of silence, shift your focus inward. Hit the gym, explore new hobbies, or set new personal and professional goals. Keeping yourself engaged not only helps you grow, but also shifts your mindset from scarcity to abundance. Remember, silence is not about playing games. It's about allowing her the freedom to process her emotions while showing that your world doesn't revolve around her. In the absence of your attention, she will begin to feel the void, and that's when attraction starts to rekindle, shifting the focus back to you. When a woman becomes distant, the best response is not to chase her, but to chase your own potential. This is the perfect opportunity to shift your attention inward, rather than fixating on her actions or reasons for pulling away. Use this time wisely. Prioritize your passions, career, health, and personal development. The more you invest in yourself, the more naturally attractive you become, not just to her, but to those around you. By focusing on your own growth, you regain control of the situation while simultaneously improving your life in meaningful ways. When you embody self-assurance and purpose, you not only enhance your personal fulfillment, but also increase your overall appeal. The key to rebuilding attraction isn't in convincing her to return. It's in becoming the best version of yourself, so that she naturally feels drawn back to you. Fulfilling this shift in mindset is powerful, and it will ultimately make you more desirable, not just to her, but to others as well. Conclusion. Letting go the right way doesn't mean giving up. It means taking control of your life and your emotions by stepping back. You give yourself the opportunity to grow, regain your confidence, and rebuild attraction. Remember, silence and space can be powerful tools in any relationship. It's not about manipulation. It's about respecting yourself and the other person. Thanks for watching. Stay tuned for more insights and tips on building healthy relationships and personal growth, energy towards self-growth and fulfillment. Start by identifying areas of your life that need attention. Is it your health, your career, or your friendships? By pouring your energy into these areas, you not only improve your quality of life, but also create a version of yourself that's impossible to ignore. Think about this. When was the last time you truly prioritized your own happiness? Relationships often demands so much attention that we lose sight of our personal goals. But when you focus on yourself, something incredible happens. Your confidence grows, your energy shifts, and you become magnetic. This isn't about ignoring her or playing hard to get. It's about showing her and yourself that you're a man with purpose. Women are naturally drawn to men who have a sense of direction and independence. When she sees you thrive, it forces her to reevaluate her feelings by shifting the focus back to you. You're not just making her miss you. You're creating a life so fulfilling that her distance no longer feels like a loss. And in that shift, you rediscover your own value section. 5. The move that changes everything. There's one subtle move that can completely transform the dynamic. Stop seeking her validation when a woman becomes distant. It's tempting to try to win her back by proving your worth. But the moment you stop looking for her approval, you take back your power. Validation-seeking behavior, like double texting, over-apologizing, or constantly checking in, sends the message that your self-worth is tied to her response. This not only weakens your position but also diminishes her attraction. Instead, focus on being intentional with your actions. If she reaches out, don't immediately respond. If she wants to meet up, don't rearrange your schedule to accommodate her. This isn't about playing games. It's about showing her that you value your time and priorities. When she sees that you're not desperately seeking her attention, it creates a shift in the dynamic. She starts to wonder why you're not reacting the way she expected. This curiosity, combined with the respect you've shown for yourself, reignites her interest. This subtle move isn't about manipulation. It's about self-respect. When you stop seeking her validation, you show her that you're a man who values himself. And that's the kind of man she can't help but be drawn to. Section 6, the psychology behind distance. To truly understand why a woman becomes distant, you need to grasp the psychological forces at play. At its core, human relationships are driven by push and pull. Dynamics. When she pulls away, she's testing the elasticity of the connection, whether consciously or subconsciously. Think of it as a psychological reset. By creating distance, she's attempting to assess how much you value yourself in the relationship. Will you panic? Will you cling to her? Or will you stay composed, signaling that you're secure in your own worth? Women are biologically wired to be drawn to strength and independence. When you don't react to her pulling away with desperation, it sends a powerful message that you're not dependent on her attention to feel validated. This creates intrigue because it disrupts her expectations. The key is to shift your mindset. Instead of seeing her distance as rejection, view it as a natural part of the relationship. Dynamic relationships like tides ebb and flow. Your ability to stay grounded during the low points is what sets you apart as a high-value man. Sections, the art of setting boundaries when she becomes distant. One of the most attractive things you can do is set boundaries, not just with her, but with yourself. Boundaries communicate self-respect, and they're essential for maintaining balance in any relationship. Ask yourself, are you prioritizing her feelings over your own? Are you constantly putting her needs above yours? If the answer is yes, it's time to reassess. Setting boundaries doesn't mean being cold or distant. It means defining what you will and won't tolerate in the relationship. For example, if she pulls away and stops communicating, resist the urge to chase. Instead, set a boundary for how you handle the situation. Tell yourself, if she's not willing to put in effort, I won't overextend myself. This isn't about punishing her. It's about protecting your emotional well-being. When you set boundaries, you shift the focus back to your own values and priorities. This makes you more attractive because it shows that you're a man with standards. Women respect and are drawn to men who respect themselves. Section 8. Why absence builds attraction. You've probably heard the phrase, absence makes the heart grow fur. But why is this true? The answer lies in psychology. When someone is absent, our minds naturally fill in the gaps with idealized memories. When you pull back and give her space, you create a psychological void. In that void, she starts to reflect on the good times, the moments when she felt close to you, and the things she admired about you. This process is called positive projection, and it's one of the reasons why distance can reignite attraction. But here's the catch: absence only builds attraction if you're worth missing. That's why it's crucial to use this time wisely. Focus on becoming the best version of yourself, pursue your goals, invest in your passions, and live a life that's fulfilling on its own. When she sees you thriving, it amplifies the effect of your absence. She starts to wonder, what's he up to? Why does he seem so confident and happy without me? And that curiosity is what pulls her back. Say Section 9, turning distance into desire. Distance doesn't have to be a bad thing. In fact, it can be one of the most powerful tools for creating desire, if you know how to use it. The key is to approach distance with intention, rather than fear when she pulls away. Resist the urge to close the gap immediately. Instead, focus on shifting the dynamic. Use the distance to your advantage by becoming more intriguing, confident, and self-assured. One way to do this is by being unpredictable. If she reaches out, don't respond the same way every time. Sometimes reply quickly, other times take your time. This unpredictability creates a sense of excitement and keeps her on her toes. Another strategy is to become less available. If you're always accessible, she might take your presence for granted. But when you're busy, living your life, whether it's through work, hobbies, or social events, it forces her to recognize your value. The goal isn't to manipulate her. It's to remind her of what makes you unique. When you use distance as a tool to highlight your strengths, it turns uncertainty into attraction. Section 10. The long game of self-worth. At the end of the day, making her miss you isn't about strategies or tactics. It's about self-worth. The way you handle her distance is a reflection of how much you value yourself when she pulls away. It's easy to fall into the trap of overthinking and overreacting, but the men who truly stand out are the ones who stay grounded in their own worth. They don't chase, they don't panic, and they don't let her actions dictate their emotions. The long game is about building a life that's so fulfilling that her distance no longer feels like a loss. It's about realizing that your happiness doesn't depend on anyone else. It comes from within. When you reach this level of confidence and self-assurance, you become magnetic. Women are drawn to men who know their worth because it signals strength, stability, and independence. So when she becomes distant, remember this: it's not about winning her back. It's about becoming the best version of yourself. And when you do that, everything else falls into place. Call to action, now that you know exactly what to do. When she becomes distant, it's time to take action. Focus on yourself. Set boundaries and let her feel the impact of your absence. If you found this video helpful, give it a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe to Learn with Stoic. For more real, relatable advice on navigating the complexities of love and relationships, remember, relationships take time, care, and effort, but the rewards are worth it. When fear and caution are met with understanding and patience, they transform into trust and connection. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one. This content is intended for motivational and self-improvement purposes only. It is not intended to promote manipulation, emotional detachment as a means of control,